everyone, I'm Kat, and today I am talking about the glazes. I know I've shown bits and pieces of them and some of the others, but I was just going to show you what I've made so far. I have, I think, 22 different shadings of different things, using a few different glaze recipes and changing up all the oxides and anyway, cobalt carbonates and the carbonates and oxides to just get some different colors. We have, you're wondering why I have so many. At Sunshine they have two kilns. One's more of a bisque kiln and the other one is they're a Paragon, but it's a pretty big Paragon. It's like a 12 side. So once we get the shelves, that thing is huge. So I need to have enough things to test out with. So anyway, I'm just going to go over a few of them. I used this book, The Complete Guide to Mid-Range Glazes, and it's a John Britt, and Amazing Glaze, looks like by Gabriel Klein. So I used those two books and fiddled around with some of the, like I said, some of the colorants in them to change it around. And I'm hoping to find like a base recipe that we really like that we can just put in the different colors. But right now, we don't even know what we like. So the first round is going to be just trying a bit of this and a bit of that, and then we'll kind of work our way down as we go. I know the first kiln load isn't going to be much of anything, probably the second either. But who knows? We're just going to try it and see. Okay, so I have different colorants, like, okay, I'll start with these in the back. These are my high iron colorants. I've got Randy's Red, and it's on page 177 of Amazing Glaze. It's really high. It has, I don't even know how much iron oxide's in it, but it's supposed to be a brownish red color. These are all cone 6-ish. I've got Seltzer Temuco. I know I'm pronouncing that wrong, I'm sorry. And this is in John Britt's book on page 84. I only made 100 grams of that one. I've got the Odyssey gloss that was in Amazing Glaze, and it is it's just a base gloss, so I added 12% of iron oxide. That recipe was on page 173 of Amazing Glaze. And then my friend Al on Clay Buddies gave me a recipe, and this one is his base recipe, and then I put in 15% iron oxide, so you can see the dark color there. So as far as that goes, then I was like, okay, so I've got kind of brownish colors. Now I'm wanting to do a blackish color. Now we know that we're not going to make like a true black, but by mixing certain oxides and things. So I went with John Britt's Glossy Floating Black, and it was on page 139. So it looks kind of browny right here. I don't know if you can see that, but so hopefully that'll be cool. Then I got into the just the bases. So here's my Odyssey Clear that was in Amazing Glaze on 173. Here is Al's base, just base glaze or recipe. And then the Odyssey Gloss White, which is on page 174 of Amazing Glaze. After that, I decided to make some blues, because everybody wants blues, right? So I have the floating blue recipe that I know a lot of people use floating blue. There's slight variations in some of the recipe books and things that I've seen. So I went with Amazing Glaze, and I just made 300 grams of it. And it's on page 173 of Amazing Glaze. That's the one I stuck with. But I've seen people use it and it looks great. Now here's Al's base, and on his base, I added, according to him, 5% cobalt carbonate. And so I made 100 grams of that. Then I made a, no, that's not. I guess that's all I did with the real true blues. Okay. I took also Al's base recipe. I added 8 of rutile and 3 of cobalt carbonate. So that is probably, I'm going to guess, is somewhere close to the floating blue, but maybe a little darker blue. Not sure. We'll see how that one turns out. And then I went for the turquoisey, greeny colors. And I made, in John Britt's book, on page, I think it's 109. And it's an Oribes type. Made 200 grams. And it's called Carmen's Turquoise. The reason I picked Carmen's Turquoise is I had the ingredients for it, so I went with that one. I love turquoise, so we'll see if that one turns out. Then I made a spearmint that was in Amazing Glaze. It was on page 178, and made a couple 100 grams of it. And that one looks really pretty in the pictures. We'll see. Will it come out like that? Probably not, but it's a really beautiful. And then I decided to take the spearmint color, and then I just added 1% of cobalt carbonate just to see if I could get maybe a purpley, I don't know, just a little bit different shading of it. Then I picked Odyssey Green by John Britt in John Britt's book on page 112 on 112. I made just a small amount of it, but I had the colors for it, so that's why I chose that green. And then I made a Chun Celadon in Amazing Glaze on 171. I changed the recipe just a little bit because I didn't have one of the ball clays or whatever it was. I had EPK. So it was a kaolin. And so I changed it. And then, yeah, that's all. This recipe, like I said, was on 171. So instead of the ball clay, I changed it to EPK. I know that adds a little more silica to it, but it shouldn't amount to a whole lot. If it doesn't work, oh well. We're testing anyway, so that's okay. I'm going to put it on my halfway broken pots that will come out of the bisque whenever they do. Okay, so then I have made some colors that I'm hoping are be more yellowy, orangey, browny. I have this, I made the Odyssey Clear again, and then I added, in this one I added 2% rutile and 2% iron oxide. And then this one I made 3% rutile and 3% iron oxide. You can see the little bit differences in colors. So I was just going to see if one came out more yellowy than the other. And then I have an Odyssey gloss that I added in the yellow ochre and some titanium dioxide. So that'll either come out a greeny color or a yellowy color, hopefully. And last but not least, I think I've done, well, I had some, okay. So I love pink. That's my favorite color. So I made the Odyssey gloss with pink stain, and I put in 8% because from what I can tell is 8% is what people mostly use the stains on. And then on this one I made a spearmint. I took away the copper in the spearmint, and I added 6% of the pink stain, and then 1% of cobalt carbonate. Maybe a little bit purplier pink. Anyway, that's what I have done. And so I'd gotten a, now I've gotten it wet, I'd gotten a fortune cookie. And my fortune cookie read, "You will have an opportunity to shine this week." Well, I don't know. Shine away. But the next thing that I have is I've been waiting on my pottery wheel, and it was back ordered for a little while. Now it's shipping. It was supposed to be here tomorrow. Will it be here tomorrow, the whole thing? I don't think it's going to all be here tomorrow. I think that one part of it is in Connecticut, and I don't know why it's still in Connecticut. The other part is here in Texas. I'm hoping that since it's been in Connecticut for over a day, being FedEx, I don't know, did they break it? We'll see. I hope not, because that was the big part of it, the heaviest part. So I'm hoping things don't come missing from it. But anyway, it is what it is. We'll just hope that I get to work on it some this weekend. Anyway, this one was probably boring to most people, getting through all the chemicals. I kind of enjoy chemistry, so this is kind of really fun to me, seeing how the chemicals get together. And I remember my daughter one time, my oldest daughter, in one of her science classes or science fairs, we took a chemistry kit back when you could buy chemistry kits, and we made paints out of all the different chemistry chemicals, and so that was pretty fun. She made a little painting. So this is kind of like with the soaping and with everything else, I like to see how everything kind of meshes together. I'm kind of a geek. But anyway, that's it for now, and I hope the next one will be unboxing my wheel, or part of it, or some of the broken parts of it. I don't know. Anyway, I'll see y'all later, and thank you for watching. Hopefully the next one will be a little more exciting. Bye.